Hey everyone, it's triplemangothreat. This is another roast video. The first one was okay, but this one we're going to go a little bit more roasty. Now again, this is all satire. I'm going to actually be giving some advice at the end of the video. Thank you for submitting your decks. You can submit yours at our Discord, which is in the description, and it will also be the pinned comment in the comment section below. Alright, let's jump right into the roasting. So first let's roast a Yara, First of Loch Twain for black, black, black. It's a 2/3 elf noble. Whenever a Yara or another black creature enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. There's also a sack outlet on a Yara where we can sack another black creature, draw a card if we tap a Yara. Of all the cards you can put in this deck, you chose to put Necroskitter in here. So you see this is a $7 card. I could build a $7 EDH deck. And I could beat your deck with the $7 EDH deck. Moving on, we have Yawgmoth, Thrain Physician for 2 black, black. It's a 2/4 human cleric, protection from humans, pay 1 life, sack another creature, put a -1/- counter on up to 1 target creature, and draw a card. We pay black, black, discard a card, we get to proliferate. So you can see how this really works together. We're putting counters on things and we can proliferate. But did you know Yawgmoth was referred to as the Lord of Wastes? And I find it very fitting for this deck, because it is also a waste. Next we have Sylvar and Trin. Sylvar says for 3 and a black red, it's a 4/2 cat nightmare. It's a partner with Trin, it has menace. You can sack a human, get a +1/+1 counter on Sylvar, and it gets indestructible. Trin is a 3/3 for 3 and a white. It partners with Sylvar at the beginning of your end step. If you attack this turn, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. So you can understand right now this is a human tribal deck, has a sack outlet already on one of the commanders, and the other one makes you the tokens, which is really nice. Now you could have told me this was just copy and pasted from EDH Rec instead of wasting my time and sorting the cards in actual categories, but here we are. Alright, our last deck is Ural the Miststalker for 2 red, green, and white. It's a 5/5 beast. Ural has hexproof. Ural gets +2/+2 for each aura attached to it. If you play this commander, you're telling me and every other player that this is the best you could do with enchantments. Okay, in all seriousness, let's get to actual advice. Talking about a Yara, some cards I'd actually add is Bitter Blossom. I would replace this with Dreadhorde Invasion. It's pretty much the same thing, except you're building up this 1 token with Dreadhorde Invasion. Bitter Blossom's going to get you a new token each time instead of building up that 1 token. Cabal Stronghold. Now, I would suggest Cabal Stronghold because you have all these swamps and they're actually basics, so this would do really well. So instead of paying, $60 for Cabal Coffers, you can pay $3 to $4 for this, and it does pretty much the same thing, just you gotta pay a little more mana to get this nice effect. I noticed the card draw was a little lacking, but I understand why, because a Yara herself gets you card draw, and these are also good cards for card draw, but if you think you're struggling a little bit, I recommend Dark Prophecy. Whenever a creature you control dies, you can draw a card and lose 1 life. And this deck is all about your creatures dying, so it's really good. Diabolical Intent. This is a $20 card. I understand that, but we can sack a creature, which the deck's already wanting to do. We're gonna get a card from our library into our hand, and this could be a creature or whatever's gonna help us win the game. More card draw, we can put in Liliana Dreadhorde General. Whenever a creature you control dies, draw a card. So it's not just tokens. She also helps you make a token. We can have a player sack 2 creatures, which could be us if we really wanted it to be, or this can be removal. And her ult is each opponent chooses a permanent they control of each permanent type and sack the rest. So it's a board wipe, removal, and potentially card draw. So really great card, about $15. And right now this is my favorite sack outlet because of the price. And it got reprinted, so it's this low. It's only 50 cents. Viscerous here for 1 black. It's a 1/1 Vampire Wizard, which usually doesn't matter. We can sack a creature and scry 1. Whenever you don't have to pay mana to sack a creature, this is really good, and for this price, you should pick up 1. Now when it comes to the Yawgmoth deck, I would recommend getting a Bojuka Bog or a Necroskitter. The reason why I said Bojuka Bog is because you have removal. That's obvious. You have 9 removal here. But you don't have any grave hate, so I figured that would be a good option. It does enter tapped, which may affect how the deck works. Might be a little slower, but I still think it's a great card, especially for about $2. Your deck is all about -1/-1 counters, so if you want, you can throw in a Necroskitter. I was thinking we could trade it in for Fate Unraveler, because I don't think this really goes with the deck, in my opinion. You may just really like your opponents losing life when they draw a card, and that's fine. But again, Necroskitter, for those who don't know, for 1 black, it's a 1/4 elemental that has Wither, so when it deals combat damage, it's going to deal -1/-1 counters. Whenever a creature an opponent controls with a -1/-1 counter on it dies, you may return that card to the battlefield under your control. Now, I love this card because it's so powerful, and your commander literally is promoting those counters. As for the Mardu deck, I have to recommend Impact Tremors, Path to Exile, Sword of Plowshares, Temple of Malice, Temple of Silence, Temple of Triumph, and Wear and Tear. So when it comes to Impact Tremors, I think you could replace this with Vigilante Justice. So you're paying 4 mana right here. When a human enters the battlefield, you deal 1 damage to any target. Now, Impact Tremors is going to deal 1 damage to each opponent, and it's whenever a creature enters. Of course, this is going to be all human, tribal, yada yada. But if you really care about taking out your opponent's creatures, I guess keep this. But if you're wanting to like really hurt your opponents, I would go with that one. Path to Exile is just a great removal spell, and it's really cheap right now. It says $6.99, but that's because this is from the newest set coming out soon. Swords to Plowshare, another great removal spell, and you can upgrade your tap lands into scry lands, and they still enter tapped, but at least you'll get to scry one, so that'll help set up your next turns. And some more removal. Anyways, those are my suggestions. And last we have Ural. It looks like I have a lot to add, but this was actually a really great deck by itself. You can upgrade your... So this is actually sectioned off by them. So their ramp was some ramp spells and some mana rocks. So you can replace those mana rocks with some signets. It'll be a little bit faster. You can upgrade the lands, and that'd be really sweet. Again, I recommend the scry lands. These can replace lands that just enter tapped. And open the vaults. This is going to help all players. It is not like replenish where it just helps you. But for 6 mana, you get all your enchantments back. And what's really sweet about that is when the aura card enters the battlefield, you can equip it to your commander, or if you have some other creatures out, that would work too. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this Part 2 TMT Roasts video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Be sure to give this video a like, comment below, and subscribe for more Mango content. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.